What if the goal isn't to live in America forever, but to use it? My name is Alexander Akabogu. Welcome back to the Engineering Basketball channel, the channel where you were spoken to by me, a degreed engineer and computer scientist who working in the business for over 10 years now and counting. Also a former college basketball player, high school basketball and middle school basketball coach, and skill and development trainer as I play with the ball here on my little Tykes hoop to my right. But I'm home thinking about this and I had to make a video on it. It's what if the goal isn't to live in America forever, but it's to use it? One thing that's factual is a lot of foreigners, a lot of people who were born outside of America may have different social regimes, right? I'm thinking communism in China. I'm thinking, different structures. So it's really harder to build wealth. It's good to live a life if you're mediocre, but if you're trying to build wealth, it's very difficult. So hence why they come here. In the U.S., you can really come here and buy real estate. You can invest in stocks. You can ride the waves. You can really make some money out of nothing here. So it's a good place to make money, right? Especially with the currency, right? U.S. currency is strong. The U.S. dollar is strong in comparison. For all my first generation people out there, you know what I mean. When the family comes over here to make a bunch of money, there's a reason, right? There's a reason. And you can take that US dollars and spend them in other low cost countries and live a much better life, and your money can stretch longer. Your dollar can stretch further. That statement may not seem too much to you, but it's a big difference, right? If you're paying property taxes and this tax and that tax, and really questioning how expensive the US is. Places I'm thinking of are like Portugal, Mexico, Thailand, right? Places that people choose to live, which are far-fetched, but I'm just saying there's an idea. Maybe I don't, after I get the money I need, I go to a low cost living area, so my dollar can stretch further, or maybe even a hybrid lifestyle, right? Half time here, half time in another area, maybe cheaper, just so we can still keep roots in this area. My point is, it's really good to make money in the US, but it's really expensive also to sustain. So you get in this trap, which I'm trying to avoid, of thinking you need X amount of $1 million to retire. So to get that X amount of $1 million, you have to work 25, 35 years of 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Maybe you need a couple mil and you just kind of, downsize and live in a lower cost living area. Now you have a few $1 million in a cheap area in US dollar currency. You can go pretty far with that. Just something to think about. And if you want to stay in the US, some areas I'm thinking are Charlotte, right? Charlotte, North Carolina. It can go further. A lot more cheaper than some expensive areas in the US, like the Northeast or California. Other areas are Tampa, right? No state tax. Tennessee, Nashville, no state tax, right? There's a lot of things you can do. If you want to really enjoy all your hard work. Sorry, my mind was just thinking about just the possibility of living in other countries. In other states, like half the time, and your money just going further, and you feeling like you're enjoying all the hard work. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful. But really think about that, man. This works for me. My wife isn't Nigerian per se, right? I'm Nigerian, as you can see. My wife is Nigerian, so it wouldn't make sense for us to go live in Nigeria, right? But like, there's other areas you could think about, right? So really, what I'm saying is, it has to make sense for both of you, your spouse, your family, everybody involved. Everybody involved. The goal isn't to escape America, it's to design a life that actually feels rich. I hope that hits hard for you. Right? I hope that hits hard for you. The goal isn't to escape America, it's to design a life that actually feels rich. Leave a comment down where you would move to, what your thoughts are on making money in America and retiring somewhere else, or living half time here, half time there. Let me know what you think. I got my mind moving. I got my mind moving, and I hope yours is too. Because this is an opportunity. You know, you hustle, make a few million, then move to a cheaper area. That million goes far. Not that you know, $1 million you had it for retirement that's only gonna last you 10 years could last you 20 years in another place, which means you could retire 10 years earlier. You know,